Are you ready for a boost? It's May and I've got a full body fat loss workout with cardio and strength. Grab your moderate dumbbells and let's go. All right, Killer Bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. Have your dumbbells completely out of the way and let's get started with some arm circles and high knees. You guys, can I tell you how tickled I am that I actually remembered to tell you to put your dumbbells out of the way? Hi, I'm Paula B. Best middle-aged fitness friend. And apparently that was all the memory cells I had telling you to get your dumbbells out of the way. I didn't even know who I was anymore. We are all about making peace with your menopausal body around here, which means that we find a healthy weight and we move in ways that feel like self-love and oh my gosh, we just forgive ourselves for being a little bit nutty sometimes and having a little bit of trouble speaking sometimes, because sometimes that is what happens, and I'm not going to edit it out and I'm not going to worry about it because I know that you know that this is how life goes sometimes. And I was thinking about this actually somewhat recently. I was thinking about how, you know how nice it is to have it modeled for you that you don't have to be perfect. Like, I think about that all the time when I watch people that I admire just leave their mistakes in and not worry about it and not have it be a big deal. I love that I can do that for you. That's how I think about it. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. Because you know what? If I don't think about it that way, then I could be very embarrassed or sad that I make mistakes. But we all make mistakes, you guys, like all the time. And your fitness, no matter if you are making quote unquote mistakes with your fitness, there's no such thing other than injury. And even injury, I mean, as long as you recover from your injury by doing physical therapy and like taking care of yourself, taking time off if you need to, etc. Honestly, even that, I'm not even sure if you can call that a mistake. It just, sometimes that happens and then we keep moving forward. You have the rest of your life to work towards, not even perfection, but to continue making progress with your fitness. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. We make mistakes around here. We laugh a lot. I talk constantly, and I love doing cardio and strength in one workout. Today is a Metcon, my friends, which means metabolic conditioning, which really just means cardio and strength with no rest. There's the part you were waiting for. I have the handy dandy Gym Boss set for intervals of 30 seconds of cardio and 1 minute of strength. And there is not only no rest, but there's also really no transition time. And here's what I want you to know about that. Apropos of talking about mistakes, just take your time. Take your time. You never have to get this workout perfect. We never have to be great at it. We're just having some fun with it. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and have some fun with cardio first. We're starting with booty kicker elbow swings, which is one of my favorites. I know I say that about every exercise, but it's one of my favorites. Let's go ahead and start moving. Booty kicker elbow swings is exactly what it sounds like. We're doing booty kickers, just like we do in the warm-up, and we're doing elbow swings. Now, here's the thing. I've done a little bit of work on this one today to make sure that the exercises aren't crazy hard, because we're going back and forth with no rest, and because the intervals are actually pretty generous. I mean, 30 seconds of cardio, longer than we sometimes do, that's for sure, and a minute of strength, as long as we frequently do. And speaking of which, here we go. We're going to grab those dumbbells and we're going to do squats. If you don't want to do squats, do any kind of kick at all, like literally kick forward. Kick forward. That's all you have to do the entire interval. I'm going to do squats because that's what I like to do. But if your knees don't like it, your hips don't like it, your ankles don't like it, your brain doesn't like it, you never have to do the exercise that I'm doing. I'm here for the company. I'm here for the chatter. I'm here for the laughs. I'm definitely here for the mistakes. You are here to get a nice little workout, maybe a little bit of sweat, something kind of moderate. You do not have to do anything that I do at any time that I do it. I'm just the timer, maybe, when it beeps again. We're putting the weights back down, and we're going to go ahead and go back to those booty kicker elbow swings. The reason we are doing this is so that we can kind of, I like a repeating, no repeat. I like being done when we're done. So we're doing 2 of each pair, like a little Noah's Ark thing. Here we go with booty kicker elbow swings. We're doing 2 of each pair before we move on so that we don't have to come back around to do the circuit again. I try really hard to vary the workouts that we do so that over the course of the month, you know, even if you are repeating the 7 days like we do, although at this point, oh my gosh, the month of May, you've got an entire 31 days from January of 2020, and you've got an entire 31 days of January 2021, and you've got a February 7-day series. Here we go with squats or kicks. You've got an entire February series, an entire March series, an entire April series, and now an entire May series. You really don't have to repeat very much, like at all. You might repeat this whole series, the 7-day series of May for the month of May. Depends on how you're using it. I really like that I have enough variety that you can do anything. And what I was saying is, I don't really like coming back and doing things more than twice. When it beeps again. We're going to put those weights down. We're going to do reach across high and low, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. We're going to reach across high on both sides, then we're going to reach across low on both sides. It is a cardio move, so we're thinking about cardio speed. We're thinking always about having our core pulled in by standing up nice and straight and tall, zipping up those ribs. Making sure that your core is engaged will always help you have the best form that you can have. It will help you get the most boost out of your workout. Weights go down, and here we go. We're reaching across high. We're reaching across low. It's not very high, nor is it very low, but we're reaching across our body, which means that we're thinking about having our core pulled in. We're thinking about moving at a cardio-ish pace. Today is meant to be moderate. Today is meant to be weight loss focused, because that's what we do around here. But you might not be losing weight. You might go faster. You might go a lot slower. You might go my exact pace. You might do whatever works for you. Here we go with side bends. We're going to grab those weights. Side bends are the ones where our feet are about hip width apart. Your core is pulled in. Your body is doing almost nothing. You are bending to the side wherever your spine can take you, and not 1 millimeter past that. Because if we go a little bit further down, because we're getting past our flexibility, it means that your hips are actually doing a lot of this work. And the point of this one is really that your abs and obliques right here in the front and right here on your sides, your girdle muscles, are doing all the work. I don't know why, but that phrase girdle muscles really tickled my funny bone. It just sounds so funny. Well, girdle is just a funny word. And then now that I've said it 3 times, it has lost all meaning. Now it's a really silly word. When it beeps again, we're going to do that reach across high and reach across low again. Really thinking, even if you are laughing, really thinking about having your core pulled in and having your lower body really from the waist down, nice and stable. Here we go with reach across high and low. We're going to think about that lower body being stable again here in about 30 seconds. But right now, we're thinking about doing a little bit of cardio. Oopsies, totally just messed up on that one, and now I'm going the wrong way. Oh my gosh. Okay, this feels so weird, and so now I'm really glad I did it, because this is what happens sometimes when we make a mistake, like accidentally try and keep doing reach across high, because that's what I normally do. Now I'm going what feels like an opposite direction because I'm leading with my left side. Here we go with side bends again. That was really good for my brain. So we're standing up nice and straight and tall. Shoulders are back. Oh, we're just gonna bend to one side. I know that there's a real desire here to kind of crunch forward and or jut your hip out so that you can get further down. I feel the same urge, trust me. But we're gonna go ahead and suppress that urge because we're really thinking about working not small muscles. Your abs and obliques are actually pretty big muscles because they cover a lot of your torso. But relative to how far some of your other muscles can stretch, like your range of motion on your abs and obliques, especially with a sideways range of motion, for me it's not especially big. You guys, when it beeps again, we're doing double knees. We're gonna put our weights down. We're gonna have our hands go up overhead. You're gonna bring up one high knee 2 times on one side while you're bringing your hands down to meet that knee. And then you're gonna pivot over a little bit to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. So hands up overhead, 2 knees on one side, 2 knees on the other side. I'm totally gonna slow down because at 30 seconds, this is gonna be way too fast because I am thinking about boosting my metabolism without going crazy. You guys, here is the great thing about a metabolism boost. Let me tell you what that means. It means that you get your heart rate up at all. It means that it comes above your resting heart rate. When it beeps again, by the way, we're doing peekaboo high knees. But But I don't know if you've ever really thought about that. That means that literally being awake is a metabolism boost. Here we go with peekaboo, high knees. Your elbows are together and then your elbows are apart. And yes, I do know that we just did peekaboos yesterday, if you are following along with these in order. And this feels a little bit tough to do. My friends, drop your weights. If it's too much, it's too much. Always, always, always do what feels best to you. And best for you is something moderate. We don't have to go crazy. In fact, the harder you work, the harder it could be to boost your metabolism or lose weight or get the results that you're looking for. There's a sweet spot for everything that we do, and it's never at the point where you're doing too much. If it feels like too much, it is too much. When it beeps again, we're doing those double knees again for the second and final time. Ooh, doggies. And we're breathing. We've got our core pulled in tight. My weights are right on the edge of not being moderate. And that interval was right on the edge of not being moderate. And I'm going to be really aware of that. Really thinking about what feels right. You know, in the middle of any workout, you always want to be paying attention to me. But no, really, to yourself, to your body. The signals that your body is sending you, it's always giving you important information. It's always telling you something. If you feel amazing, it's telling you that you're doing amazing things. Here we go with those peekaboo high knees for the second and final time. I'm going to take a nice big deep breath. I'm going to pull in my core. I'm going to really think about excellent form on this one. Elbows up to about shoulder height, more or less. Elbows either all the way together or as close as you can get them, and then all the way apart or as close as you can get them, or far apart as you can get them. Really thinking, for me, apparently, I'm thinking about my balance. I'm thinking about holding in my core. I'm thinking about not clenching my toes. I'm thinking about bringing that knee to wherever I can get it. It might not be all that high. Okay, coming up next, we're going to be done with these peekaboos, thank goodness, and we're going to do reverse ding-dongs. Speaking of work for your brain. Okay. So your hands are swinging low, which just means they're not going overhead. That's all I mean by that. They're actually going to swing up pretty high, like up to about head or shoulder height. But they're swinging down below your head while your opposite leg is kicking out to the opposite side. Okay. Gonna have to think about this because ordinarily, here we go, getting rocking with it. Ordinarily, we have our hands and our feet going the same way. I happen to really like reverse ding-dongs. Like, it feels good once I get going with it, but it also doesn't feel like ding-dongs, so therefore I have to think about it. When it beeps again, we're doing curtsy curls. You are absolutely 100% welcome to do any kind of a kick. I would suggest, kind of as a complement to these reverse ding-dongs, maybe a side kick. Instead, let's see what that would look like. That would look like you doing a curl with a side kick, nice and easy. I, however, I'm gonna go ahead and do a curtsy lunge, which means that I'm taking a big step back, running into Blossom's chair, even when she's not in it, and out to the side. Either way, you are doing either a kick or a curtsy. Oh my gosh, we're thinking about standing up straight and tall, having your core pulled in, not moving quite as fast as I was moving because my heart rate is coming up a little bit past moderate. Always, always, always monitoring what your body is telling you. If your body is telling you that this is too tough, it's too tough. My friends, put your weights down, go slower, do less. It's totally okay. Like, I know that's funny that I say that so often, but for reals, you're not getting more benefit out of pushing yourself harder on one workout, especially if you have to recover from it, and or, here we go with those reverse ding-dongs again, especially if either, okay, let's say that you don't injure yourself, and please don't, I mean, ever, if you can help that. But if it takes you a little bit longer to recover, and then you still push through tomorrow, and then you're not quite recovered, and then you're still pushing through the next day, and then you're not quite recovered, and then you're still pushing through the next day, eventually that is going to lead to injury. Eventually that is going to lead to some kind of chronic soreness, aches and pains, stiffness, non-fitness that you don't want. Like, isn't that crazy that by trying to work harder, we could actually do less for our fitness? Here we go with those curtsy curls for the second and final time. Oh, good golly. The booty is feeling this already. I notice that I'm taking a big step. And and it's a little bit challenging for me. So let me see if I can make this a little bit shallower. Here's the real benefit of any workout, my friend. It's being able to do it again and again and again, and not by pushing yourself and not really recovering. By pushing yourself the exact right amount, a moderate amount, you will actually get more fitness benefit over time than pushing yourself too hard. More pushing leads to, excuse me, more injury. Oh, hey, when it beeps again, we're doing letter Ks. That's where we have both hands up overhead. I'm gonna cough again. Excuse me, right into my dumbbells. Thank goodness I don't share these with anybody. Oh golly, here we go. Hands up overhead, one hand and that same foot out to the same side in a nice moderate pace. Between the coughing and the working and the curtsying and everything else, I noticed my heart rate has come down a little bit from where it was when I was moving too fast, but it still might be right on the edge of moderate. I'm gonna think about that. When it beeps again, we're doing oblique crunches. Gonna have the weights right there at your shoulders, and we're going to have your shoulders, or excuse me, your elbows out to the side. We're gonna stand nice and straight and tall, pull in your core. We're gonna bring one knee approximately to its same side elbow. Now, trust me on this is approximate. I am not telling you that you have to get your knee all the way to your elbow. That is a flexibility issue and not just a strength issue. You are going to get as close as you can, and you're going to do your best to pull that work from your abs and obliques. That is the point. The point is not the elbow to the knee. Because you could, I mean, here's what I think about sometimes. You could move your body the way I'm moving my body. I actually just had this conversation with my husband, last week. When it beeps again, we're doing the letter Ks again. He was doing something or other. Oh, it was triangles. That's what it was. He was doing triangles. And he was trying to get down real low because he saw me. I was getting down real low on my triangles because I work on that. And I'm a little bit more flexible than him. And he said, where should I feel this? And so I'm like, oh, I'm pointing out, giving him an anatomy lesson. Here we go with letter Ks. I was like, here are the muscles. Here's what you should feel. And he's like, oh, so it shouldn't be a stabbing pain in my lower back? And I was like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? No pain at all. You're supposed to be using, these muscles right here and right here and right here. And he was like, oh, I thought I was just trying to get my body into the same position that you were getting it. I didn't realize I was supposed to be using muscles. Here we go with those oblique crunches again. And I'm laughing now because, thankfully he said that to me on the first rep as opposed to 3 years in or something. But no pain. My friends, you could manipulate your body into this position by, hurting yourself or doing too much or whatever. But no. Just think about the muscles that you're using. You're squeezing from your abs to get your knee wherever it can go. You're squeezing from the middle of your back to keep your elbows out as wide as they can go. Maybe it's not as wide as me. That's totally okay. When it beeps again, we're doing walking stars. We're going to put our weights down, of course, for that. Thank goodness. It's a box step. You might know it as a box step or a V step. I call it walking stars because that's how my brain needed to understand this particular motion. We're stepping forward while one hand goes up, the same hand goes up, and then we're stepping forward on the other side while that hand goes up. Then we're stepping back, and then we're changing leader legs. So forward, back, other foot forward, back, and back. That is the hard part for me every time, is the switching of the leader legs, and that's exactly why I make us do it, my friends. When it beeps again, we're doing a front raise, side tap combo, which is, it sounds needlessly complicated. It's really not. One of your arms is going to be doing a front raise. The other one of your arms is going to be doing a side raise. And while you're doing that, the hand that is doing the front raise, that foot is tapping out. Again, I know that sounded really complicated too, but I swear it's not that bad, right? We're just thinking about breathing. One hand goes forward, one hand comes out to the side. If the side tap is too much, and truly it's only for a little bit of balance challenge. If the side tap is too much, don't do it. Or if you accidentally got started on the wrong side for the side tap, just keep going. Totally okay. Totally okay as long as you do not feel a stabbing pain in your lower back. And oh my gosh, my friends, if you ever feel a stabbing pain anywhere while we are working out, you stop immediately. You stop immediately immediately. You don't wait for me to laugh and tell you an anatomy lesson like I did with my husband. Because I think, okay, it was kind of funny with him because I don't think it was actually a stabbing pain. I think he was just asking me a question. We're gonna go with that. Okay, we're going back to walking stars. Forward, forward, back, and back. He said it in a joking manner, and I know he's not injured, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with the fact that it was a joke. We'll go with that. But for reals, if you feel pain, be done. Be absolutely done. If you feel something that's like, oh, this is really challenging, challenging is okay up to a certain point, as we talked about. Challenging is a little bit trickier. I'm going to suggest that you don't let yourself be challenged for too long. Here we go with those front raise, side taps. You will get a better idea of what kind of challenge you can manage after you've been working out for a while. For right now, if you're brand new, any kind of challenge, drop weights. Drop weights, come on down, go a little bit slower. Like, there's no amount of challenge that's gonna be, ooh, just right for you if you're brand new. You wanna make sure that everything feels kind of easy, truly. You guys, hey, speaking of easy, haha, look at this. When we get done with this, we're gonna be done. Oh, but we're not finished. I do have one more combo for us that is, of course, a built-in finisher, and it's your favorite thing ever. It's Drinky Bird Jacks paired with Drinky Birds. I know you're gonna love it, but here's the thing, I'm only gonna make us do it one time. We don't even have to go through 2 times. You are so welcome for that. So when it beeps again, we're gonna put our dumbbells down. We're gonna do Drinky Bird Jacks. If you haven't done them before, it's a single leg deadlift while your hands are doing jumping jacks, but of course there's no jumping at all. One leg going back behind you at a time. When you raise that leg, your torso literally has no choice except to tip forward. Make sure that you're not leaning forward or rounding forward. For some of us, if our leg isn't coming up very high behind us, that means that we're not tipping very far forward. That's totally okay. I would rather have you be balanced and have your arms doing some kind of movement than trying to be a hero on this one. Hey, but here's the deal on this last part. We are going to go nice and slow, and we're really going to think about pulling that leg up behind you. We've got our dumbbells in our hands. We're going to get down as far as we can. We're going to think about tipping those toes so that your toes and your hip bones are facing the ground. And then we are going to switch legs, thank goodness. Toes and hip bones stay pointed at the ground. Glutes are doing all this work. Your big, glorious, beautiful, super strong butt muscles are doing all of this work. I know you are tempted to lean forward and then kind of fling your leg up behind you. Your leg is driving this motion. Think about the work right there in your booty. And when it beeps again, that will be the last time it beeps today, you guys. We will be better than done. We will be finished. And we will have had a really nice, hopefully moderate workout. Was it moderate? Did you keep it moderate? I'm not gonna put those down there. Blossom doesn't need them. I'm gonna put those down all the way away because we are cooling it down. I'm starting with my toes tapping. And then we're gonna do a little bit of arm circles. Doesn't that feel lovely to have no weights in your hands? It's my favorite part of every weights workout is putting them down. I know that's such a funny thing to say. I like picking them up too. I do. I like the whole thing. Everything about weights is my favorite, but I really, really like putting them down for the last time. You guys, I have an extended cool down here for you on screen because I know that I got pretty sweaty today. So if you are feeling like this was tippy-toeing right up to the edge of moderate, I'm definitely going to encourage you to take a little bit longer to cool all the way down. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. And of course, on the other side of the screen, I have your daily reminder, everything that we need to know about losing weight at 50 and beyond and how important it is to stay moderate, because exercise is not the main driver of your weight loss, my friends. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on your back. What a great, great, great job you did today. Thank you so much for working out with me. Make sure you click the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.